In this tutorial, we will learn how to fetch a REST API data and use it in a React component by building a book catalog page. I have just created a static book catalog page. Here you can see there is a component called my app, which return a HTML markup which shows header available books and ordered list which contain 2 books, a book name and author name. So yeah, let me show that page. You can see here it shows that page. It shows the 2 books. Now we need a REST API. So what I have done is that I created a books.json inside the public directory. You can see here it's a list of books. Each book contains ID, name and author. To access this page in the browser, what you need to do is that /books.json. This is how you can access. Now we got the basic React app. It's just a static web page, and this is a REST API. Now first what we need is, okay, here first I need to take this hard-coded value and convert it into a JavaScript array. I will define an array here, const books name author so I will copy this one, author, why added 2 there? Okay, now I created a variable. Now I need to remove this one and include this array here. JSX don't support looping, so you need to do the JavaScript code here. So what I need to do is that constant rows, basically it's a li and books dot map. It should return RI for each book. So I will copy this one, this part here, copy and paste here. For every book it will return the li. So here instead of book name, book dot name, author name, book dot author. Okay, now I can remove this part, and here you can use that list variable. Okay, let me save it. Compiled successfully. Let me check it is. Okay, I'm not sure whether it's working or not. I will add X here and I will check it whether it's coming or not. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, adding hard-coded data I converted to a variable now. Next, we need to identify this component state data. Here only one variable we are currently using, it's a books. This data is currently we just hard-coded some static data. In reality, we need to use from this REST API books.json. So this is actually a state data. So what I will do is that I will change this name to demo books, and I will make that books a state constant. So you need to books state variable and set books and equal to use state. This is how you define a state. You need to define the state variable inside a array, and the second element in the array is set function for that state. Here set books. Use state, I will accept a initial value. Here I will pass the demo books. Now I will save this one. I got some warning. It's saying that set books is assigned a value but never used. That's fine. We will use that later. Look like it's working fine. Next, we need to use that REST API instead of this demo books. For that, what we can do is that first remove this demo. We don't need this because we are going to use that REST API, and here I will add an empty list. I got some error. Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, no books are available here because it's empty. Now you can use the fetch function. So here you can pass that REST API book.json. It's a promise. Then you can use a when. It will return a response in a text format, so you can convert to JSON. Now you can pass that JSON data to set books. I will go to here and I will open the network so that we can see what is going on here. Network. Okay, I am going to save this one. Okay, go to some error. Books map is not a function. Okay. Books.map is not a function. Okay, the problem was JSON is a function. I didn't add that function. Okay, let me check it again. Each child in a list should have a unique key prompt. Yeah, we got all the books here, 9 books. It contains the 9 books and it listed here. And we got one warning. I will fix that warning. Here they are telling this should have a attribute key. Book.id can be used here. I will save it. You can see here a lot of books request is sending continuously. I'll stop this one. So here you can see that one, it is continuously sending books.json API. Now so far it sent 1200 requests. Okay, now it just stopped. So let me unpack why this sending so many REST API requests. The reason is that this my app component will be this function will be executed whenever some states are associated with this component changes. Here what we are doing is that we are sending a asynchronous request and that changing the state. Books is a state associated with this component, so it is changing. So my app will get executed again. That will fetch the books.json. That will change books. So basically it is creating a cycle. My app will fetch data, and that fetching code will change the state. Then it will cause to execute this my app function. That function will fetch the data, that will change the state, that will cause to invoke the my app component. Basically creating a cycle, it will continue like that. That's the reason it is happening like this. So now what we can do here is that you need to use the hook, use effect hook. Use effect, here you need to pass a function. So basically what use effect will do is that instead of executing this at this here itself, it will execute after completing the component rendering. So earlier we wrote fetch here. The fetch will get executed at that point itself. Then next line will get executed. But if you're using the use effect, what will happen is that it will be delayed. Once they executed this my app function, once it returned, they will execute this code. So what we but that won't make much changes. The same issue will happen. This similar issues happening here. Earlier it was sending the request this point itself. Now it will be delayed, but issue will remain. It will continuously, there will be a cycle always, and it will send a request multiple times. In infinite number of times it will send a REST API request. So for that, what you need to do in use effect, you need to pass a second argument, empty. If you're passing an empty dependency, empty list of dependencies, what will happen is that it will execute in the first time. Second time it won't execute. The reason is that when it will execute if you're passing some states, like if you're passing books, whenever this books changes happen, getting changed, it will execute again. Since we don't pass anything, it will execute only once, and it never change, it never execute this again. That's the reason we are passing empty, so that it will execute only once. The first time my app component is getting executed, that time it will execute, that time it will get executed. So let me save it and run this npm start. Okay, now it came. You can see here it won't show any, only once it is fetching this books.json. So yeah, you need to use a use effect if you want to use a REST API, and you need to pass the empty array to say that it should execute only once. Now let us do one thing. We got this available books catalog page, and it's listing book name by author name. So let me introduce one search bar here. For that I will add a label search input placeholder search. I think we don't need a placeholder here. Okay, let me check it. Yeah, we got this we got the search bar here. Now we need to introduce this is actually a new state. This value will change it by the user, so you need to introduce a new state here. The state name will be search. I will add a new state variable called search text, and set function is set search text. Initial value will be empty. Now I will use this search text here as a value. Okay, you need to use a curly bracket here, not inside a double quote. Okay, now I will add some a. Okay, I will add a there. Instead of a, I will add a pro. Add pro. Now you can see this value came here, pro. You can't edit. So whenever I making if the value is this pro, only it should filter. This data should be filtered by this pro search term. I will add code for that. So for that, what we need to do is that we need to here books. No, books is not a right variable there. Result. Okay, here constant filtered result equal to result dot filter basically it's a filtering those data. We will get all the books here, and it will filter by that search text, and this filtered books will go to here, go to the set books. So here we need to write filtering. Here I will add constant needle search text dot to lowercase. I will convert to lowercase first, and return res dot name dot includes if the name contains that search text, or res dot author contain that search text includes needle. I think it is going further away. Okay, so let me explain once again what is happening here. I think some error and all getting yeah. Okay, so what I have done is that I introduced a search box in the UI, and to keep track of that state, I introduced a search text state and initialize with the string pro. And after getting the JSON books data, I use the result as a variable for that data. That data will be filtered by the search text. We will check whether that search text is inside the book name or in the author name. If it is, then it will return true. So that books will be part of the filtered result, and it will go to set books. I will I think it is not working. Okay, let us check what is going on here. Okay, here name I didn't include two lowercase. Let me try with the capital P. You can't change here. I will change here to P. No, you won't get any value here. So includes needle or is include needle. Either include needle or include needle. I will change and try with A. Okay, A is coming. Pro, that is not coming. Actually, Pro is here. Pro. For A, 8 book is coming. One is missing. Okay. Rest name include needles. Search to lowercase. Okay, I will do one thing. I will convert these both names into lowercase. Author name and book name I should convert to lowercase to search there. Let me check if the Pro is coming or not. Yeah, it's coming. Okay. Okay. Now what I have done is that I already described what I have done is basically it is converting to lowercase that author name and checking whether searched text is there or not. It should be either in book's name or author's name. Needle is the search text converted into lowercase. That's all. Now you can't change here because you need to here error is you provided a value prop to a form field without an on change. So you should provide on change, then only you can make changes here. So here go to search box here. Here use the on change attribute on change, then you will get event, and now what you can do is that set to the search text e.target.value. Yeah, what is nothing can change. Okay, here you need to close the parenthesis. Okay, basically I added the on change attribute to input, and here it is accepting event as a parameter and setting search text from it.target.value. This is the value of that input variable. I'll save it. Oh, it's a not so, it's a set search text. Yeah, got everything is fine here, no warning. Yeah, I will try it. It's not working actually. It's not at all changing. Why? Whenever you are changing, it will change the search text. Okay, it's basically it is just changing the search text only. That won't cause to you are changing the text here, but this use effect will get executed only once. So initial value only will be taken care here. So what we need to do is that we need to take this code out I will take out this code. Cut, and earlier it was set books, remaining that one, and I will keep here yeah. So here instead of result it should be books. So basically we are taking the book and filtering based on the search text here. Now filter result we got, that should keep in the books place. Let's save now. Yeah, now you can see whenever I'm typing it will coming on come ve. Yeah, it is working fine. Currently this filtering is happening inside this React application, not in the server. Assume that when we have a books.json which accept a search term here, search it's a crude way of sending data. You should use URL encode and all, but I will hard code like here now. Assume that when you have a REST API URL that is accepting parameter search, so that will search in the book's name and author name and return the filtered result instead of adding this filtering in the client side. Assume that you have like this. So now let me check this one. Now if you go in the network, you can see here book.json search pro is passing like this. Now I am going to change its value. The result is changing here, but you can see here they don't send any request. It's sending only once at the initial component creation time only it will sending. But whenever you are changing value here, component is rendering every time, but that won't cause to send JSON. So how we can make the REST API, how can issue a REST API fetch request every time when we change this one? For that, what we need to do is here, we already talked about empty dependency array, right? So here you need to mention which states should be monitored to run this code block, this function. So here we need to monitor search text. Whenever search text is changing, we need to issue this. I think I copied a lot of copy. I will paste here. Now what will happen is that whenever the search text value changes, use effect will execute this code. Okay, now I will save it. PR. Now you can see that one. I changed PRO to PR. Then they send a REST API request. I will change it to PRO. Now you can say they change it again. Program. Then you can see that every changes here they will send a request here. Program, it will send program. Yeah, what I have done is that one I specified that one this code block should be executed every time the value of this state changes. Okay, we learned how to fetch a REST API and how to specify state that depends on REST API. Now one of the problem with sending a network request is that there can be some network latency. For example, assume that when you are typing pro, then they send a search request search equal to pro, and that took a few seconds to return. Before before that request get completed, you changed this value to Anne. Now they passed another request here, and this got completed quickly before the previous request completed. Then what will happen is that the app will show this result and result here first, then result will come, then they will overwrite the and result. So what basically happening is that you are searching for an, they will show for pro. This is a problem with network latency. So the problem is that they requested one REST API that took time to return. Meanwhile, you send another request that finished before the previous request, and you saw that result first, then the previous request got completed, then you got that result also. The first result will get overwritten by the second request. So basically you are searching for one term and you are seeing a result for the old search. So this is due to network latency. So what we need to do is that we need to make sure that new request is going, the old result should not be considered. For that, what you can do is that here in the use effect you can specify one function telling that cleanup code. If you specify cleanup code like this, what use effect will do is that every time if you getting executed this code block, before executing they will run this cleanup code. So what you can do is here let ignore. So you are specifying a flag saying that whether you need to ignore the result or not. Initially it's a false, and here set books in this code, what you need to do is that result, you are specifying a function here. Here you need to set the set books. This result data should set as a books, set books you should use. So here you need to decide. Here you do one thing. You define the ignore variable here, and at the time of cleanup you tell ignore is true, because they are running another use effect. At that time they will execute this cleanup code of the previous use effect. So tell here true. Now what you need to do is that here add if ignore, if not ignore. Okay, now what will happen is that at first time this use effect getting executed, flag ignore will be false, and they will return a cleanup function that will change the value to true. So first request 1 is going, ignore variable for that request will be false, and they will return a cleanup function that will set ignore true. Then you are changing the search term and issuing another request. At that time what will happen is that this React will execute this code block, and that will make ignore of the first request will be true. If ignore true, then here you are checking. If ignore true, this code block will be, this boolean value will be false, and they won't set the books. So that's a code. Now I can't show the example here because I need to mock the delay and all that. I don't have time for that now. So I hope you understood that this is how we are handling network latency. Thanks for watching TutorialShore.